Happy New Year, everyone! I hope everybody had a wonderful and safe New Year's Eve last night and enjoyed bringing in the new year 2020 in an exciting but very safe way. Just always get a little scared around the holidays when everybody's drunk. If you are new to my channel, my name is Brandt. I am an adventure photographer and a vlogger who documents her travels and hopes to do a lot in this upcoming year. That's what I'm talking about today. I found in one of my notebooks a list that I had made at the beginning of 2019 of things that I wanted to accomplish, and there weren't that many goals. I think I set myself 5 resolutions and completed none of them. And I have a travel goal, like travel places goals. This one I did the most. I've written down 12 travel locations and I got to 4 of them, which I actually have videos for. My 9-day road trip to Lake Tahoe, as well as my recent 12 hours in San Francisco and my 2 or 3-day trip on the Oregon coast. I want to check out Cape Kiwanda. I had never been there before. After that trip, I have now officially done the entire Oregon coast. There's still so much to check out, but I have driven up the entire 101, which is, I know nobody probably cares, but it makes me feel very accomplished. As well as lastly seeing Nia Bay and Cape Flattery, which is also a video that I have for you guys. So if you guys are interested in any of those, please check those out in the cards or in the description down below. There'll be links for you there. But talking about my resolutions, my first one, which will be very accomplishable for me, is to post weekly. I've talked about this previously, but I feel like I want to be more consistent on YouTube and consistent with uploading, because I feel like if I'm more consistent with uploading, I'm also more consistent with going out and shooting and exploring and doing the thing that I really enjoy, which is getting out there with my camera in nature and sharing that experience with you guys or on my Instagram. So that is something that I have started to plan out and I think should really go. So I'm shooting to do at least once a week for YouTube uploads. Nice and easy. I'm not a reader. I've never been a reader. I think when I was a child, I had a difficulty reading, and therefore I just decided I didn't like it. And since I decided I didn't like it, I didn't get better at reading. So I am not a reader. I listen to a lot of podcasts, documentaries, watch documentaries. I'm a very audio-visual type of person, not a reader, but I want to be a reader. And I want to read books and learn about history and nautical things and just culture, you know, for different times. So I am setting a goal for myself for 12 books for this year, so one at a month. And I also think that this will be helpful in leading into my next goal, which is to try and improve on my sleep hygiene. I am trying to improve on my sleep so that I can be a healthier, more energetic, and effective person. And trying to focus on my sleep hygiene, so not taking the cell phone into bed, doing a nighttime routine that kind of winds down the night and like clears the brain so I'm not thinking a lot about stuff, writing out to-do lists before I start my nighttime routine so I'm not thinking about things, as well as reading a book in bed rather than being on the laptop or on the phone where the blue light can keep you up, and trying to be more consistent and going to bed at the same time every night. And I'm hoping that that will help me with just some health problems that I've been having, some energy problems, and like I said, just make me a more effective person. So I'm really trying to focus on my sleep, especially in the upcoming months. When I lived in downtown Seattle, I didn't have a car for a year and I took public transportation everywhere. I even took public transportation out of the city pretty far. Like I've gone to the San Juan Islands, I've gone to the peninsula, you know, numerous places. It takes a long time, but you can go places. I've been to Canada on public transportation. Since I moved to a location where I can have a car, I do enjoy having a car. I don't think I would ever live without a car because I like to go into the mountains and on long road trips and things like that, and I love my Prius. But I do miss using public transportation to go like grocery shopping or to see friends. I still do it, especially if I want to go downtown. I'll hop on a bus because then I don't have to deal with parking the car. So if I want to go to like Pike Place or the waterfront or do, you know, Belltown to go drinking to some bars or for dinner, it's nice to just be able to hop on to the public transit and just kind of walk around. And I really like walking around and, you know, being in the city. I don't feel that way with a car and I don't really enjoy that. So I'm not sure how I'm going to attack this just yet. I do see myself making a video on this in the future, but talking about how I am driving to places less and taking buses and walking a lot more. I think that will also be another improvement of just my health, but also just I always feel good when I'm walking around the city rather than driving through it. So, and of course it would be more eco-friendly to take public transportation and to walk. So that's one of my goals that I'm trying to figure out how to do. And I think maybe in the beginning I'll say like, okay, you can drive your car, you know, 1 day a week, you know, or 2 days a week, and go with that, you know, whether that be like I'm leaving the city to go on a shoot or going somewhere difficult. You know, public transit isn't perfect, but I do think Seattle has a wide sprawl of it. I do think that I can get a lot of places. I know I can get a lot of places. I did it for a year on public transit, so I want to focus on doing that. I want to go see movies more. Which is something that I've kind of thought about for years, where I want to watch more movies, but I think I want to go out and see more movies. I really enjoy SIFF, which is the Seattle International Film Festival. They have a couple movie theaters where they show like indie films, or not like the big blockbuster films, which, you know, some of those look good. I have a couple of those on my list that I'd like to see, but that's where I saw The Lighthouse and Parasite, and I saw a bunch of commercials there for other movies that seemed really fascinating, intriguing, and enjoyable. So I really want to, you know, I'm going to put it here. I want to watch 12 new movies this year. From what I'm gathering, last year was really good in terms of films. A lot of movie critics that I follow talked a lot about how so many movies that came out this year were wonderful compared to years past. Like, we had a really good run of film. So hopefully we're staying in that direction, because I really enjoy film, and every time I go to the movies I'm like, man, I should go to the movies more often, and then I forget, which also is the same thing that leads into going to concerts and seeing live music. Is something that I never do, but every time I do it I'm like, why don't I do this more often? This is amazing. There's such a feeling and an energy, and the dancing and the excitement of everybody and just rocking out. It's amazing. I went and saw a couple of, how many concerts did I go to this year? I think maybe like one. When we went to El Corazon before they closed. I think I talked about that in a weekly vlog or in a favorites video. We went to this venue to see a friend of mine's band play, and every time I go and see live music, it's, even if like a lot of that music really wasn't like my type of jam, but just the energy and like rocking out, like amazing. And also going to like dance clubs. When I was when I lived in Flagstaff, I used to go to dance clubs all the time. I love dancing, I love EDM, club music, and I was at a club recently just dancing, having a great time, and I was like, why don't I do this more? And I think it's because Seattle doesn't really have a lot of dance clubs, and I like to bar hop, and it's difficult to bar hop when your dance clubs charge $20 a head for cover. You know, then you could spend, you know, like 80 to $100 on just covers, and I don't want to do that because I just want to dance. So that might be something that we talk about in the future, talking about like where Seattle's best bars or dance clubs, because I miss dancing and I miss live music and I miss sharing music with people. I don't listen to a lot of music because I listen to a lot of podcasts and a lot of YouTube, and that kind of fills my ears. And I think that's also something in the new year that I want to do, is listening to more music and seeing more music live and dancing. So I have a lot more personal goals on here, like talking about trying to be more physically fit. I am planning on getting ClassPass in the new year and checking out a whole bunch of classes. I know that I am somebody, because I deal with chronic pain and fatigue, that I will not motivate myself to go do physical activity because I am so afraid of pain. And so if I am in a class, or if I'm on a hike with someone, or if I have a goal or destination to get to, I will push myself. Like, I have to put a carrot in front of me. So for the new year, I am planning on getting a ClassPass membership and getting on a cycle of ClassPasses to try out a whole bunch of different classes, like boxing, Pilates, hot yoga, cycling, whatever. I'm really excited to try a whole bunch of different workouts. Maybe something will really click with me. Maybe something will really help me feel better or excited to go do. But I know in myself that I need to have authority, you know, or that rigidness to make me do the thing. And I really want to be a stronger and fitter person. So that is what I'll be doing. Another resolution that I have that I did not complete last year was I wanted to volunteer with the homeless. I have signed up to an email list of, I think, 1 or 2 email lists, but I just haven't actually gone and completed it. But I really want to give back to the community, especially to the homeless community, because I want to help where I can and enrich people's lives. I think it is heartbreaking to see all the people on the streets and what they have to go through in their day-to-day I just want to help where I can, and so I want to make that a priority, and actually attending volunteer training meetings and getting out there and helping deliver food and learning about the people on the streets and what can be done to help with homelessness. I also do want to also help with some marine biology, marine wildlife with like the orcas. There are also some groups around here that are focusing on ocean conservation and protecting our marine wildlife that is critically endangered, especially like our orcas, and trying to help with cleaning up the ocean with pollution, with sustainability acts, and helping grow. There's a group of people that go out and they plant trees and they clean up the forest to help salmon so that they can return back to the ocean. And so I really want to work with homeless shelter groups and with ocean conservation groups this year, whether that be as projects or volunteering hours in my time. So I really want to volunteer more, and I think I'm going to make that like a priority where I have to do at least one, where I tell myself to do at least one meeting like that monthly. I think that will be a good start. Another thing that I told myself last year that I kind of started off a little bit strong on but kind of faded away was I do a lot of traveling, but I live in one of the most beautiful and spectacular cities ever. I love Seattle so much, and I don't feel that I share it through my photography and through vlogging more. I really want to focus on taking Seattle-based photos and Seattle-based adventures, and that's kind of why I started like the little Seattle weekly vlog. I do want to do those more often. Let me know if you guys are interested in more Seattle weekly vlogs from me. But I had taken some nice skyline pictures, but I really want to focus on showing how wonderful my city is and how much I love it, and I need to focus on that instead of being like, I'm gonna go hike this mountain, or I'm gonna go fly to this other big city like Chicago or Nashville, but focus on like what is so beautiful and amazing about this city. I love taking landscape photos and nature-based pictures, but I do think that there's a lot that I can share of Seattle's beauty through my photography, so I want to focus on showing off my beautiful home. I'm very excited for this upcoming year. I have a lot planned, and I really want to hold myself up to a higher standard and focus on my health, my relationships with my friends and my family, and growing my business and growing as a person. And so those are kind of like my pillars. Consistency is something that has always been difficult for me, but I am trying to ride this wave of inspiration and focusing on that type of feeling to get through the times that I just don't want to do the things because it's too painful, it's too much time, it's, you know, it doesn't fit well in my schedule. But focusing on knowing that if I am consistent, then I can achieve greatness. And that is kind of my goal for this year, is to be consistent and to invest in my health, my relationships, and my career, I guess. That's where we're going to end off this video here. I would love to know what some of your New Year's resolutions, how are you planning to attack the year, and leave those down in the comments below. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Happy travels from me to you. Happy New Year, and make sure you guys get home safely. Bye guys.